The story of Kobe Bryant's prime is not a simple rise and fall arc. It's a slow burn that turns into a wildfire, a journey defined not by one season or one statistical peak, but by a transformation that reshaped not only his game, but his voice, his leadership, and his understanding of what greatness truly required. From the moment he stepped into the league as a skinny teenager in 1996, to the night he lifted his first championship trophy without Shaquille O'Neal by his side, Kobe's evolution became one of the most fascinating character arcs in sports history. His career wasn't just about scoring explosions or highlight reels. It was about a young prodigy who grew into a leader, a champion, a figure who dominated the league with a fully formed understanding of how to control every second of a basketball game. To understand when Kobe was truly in his prime, you have to go far beyond his numbers. You have to examine when his skill, his athleticism, his mentality, and his leadership fused together into something unstoppable. When Kobe entered the NBA, he was a kid trying to fit into a league built for grown men, but the fire inside him was already visible. Even as a bench player, even as the youngest all-star starter in league history, you could see the outlines of something special. He wanted to be great, and he wanted it with an obsession that most players never come close to understanding. That obsessive hunger started pushing him into the spotlight. His scoring increased, his responsibilities grew, and by the early 2000s, Kobe was no longer the kid off the bench. He was one half of the most dominant duo the NBA had ever seen. Yet even as he became more skilled, more confident, and more dangerous, he was still tethered to Shaq's shadow. Everything he did, everything he accomplished, always circled back to the question of who the true leader of the Lakers really was. But in 2001, the world started seeing a different Kobe. This version wasn't just talented. He was terrifyingly complete. He could score on anyone, defend anyone, and impact every possession on both sides of the floor. He was attacking the rim with force, torching defenders in the mid-range, and locking players down on the perimeter with a defensive intensity that turned him into a two-way nightmare. That season marked the true beginning of Kobe's prime, a period where he wasn't simply one of the best players in the league. He was one of the best players alive. His playoff performances, especially against the Spurs, showed that he wasn't just riding along with Shaq. He was keeping pace, pushing the team forward, and showing signs that one day he would take the throne completely. By 2003, Kobe reached the peak of his physical powers. His legs were still explosive, his skill had caught up to his athleticism, and he began stringing together scoring streaks that seemed unreal even for him. But with that incredible ability came something he hadn't yet mastered: emotional maturity. His need to prove himself, his drive to dominate every possession, sometimes clashed with the team's needs. He could carry a team, but he struggled to balance dominance with leadership. He was brilliant, but volatile, skilled, but stubborn. And while 2003 Kobe was the most complete version of himself physically, the emotional side of his game still lagged behind. Then came the chaos of 2004, the court case, the ongoing feud with Shaq, the pressure cooker of expectations, and a finals collapse that exposed every weakness still lingering in Kobe's leadership. When the Lakers imploded and Shaq was traded, the spotlight moved solely onto him. And with that spotlight came a new challenge. He had the talent. He had the skill, but now he had to build something. And the first few years without Shaq nearly broke him. The rosters weren't good. The wins weren't coming, and the fans questioned whether the Lakers had made the wrong decision. That noise drove him into the 2006 season with a rage that turned him into the most unstoppable scorer on the planet. The 81-point game, the 62 in three quarters, the endless stream of 40 and 50-point explosions. This was Kobe unleashed, Kobe with no restraints, Kobe proving he could do it alone. But basketball is not an individual sport. And for all the brilliance he displayed, the Lakers still couldn't get past the first round. It wasn't until the arrival of Pau Gasol in 2008 that everything began to change. For the first time since Shaq, Kobe had a teammate he trusted, someone who saw the game the way he did, someone who could shoulder responsibility on the court without needing to compete for dominance. That partnership forced Kobe to grow again, not as a scorer, but as a leader. He began to understand his teammates on a deeper level. He started embracing the emotional side of leadership, finding the balance between demanding greatness and nurturing it. And when the Lakers fell short in the 2008 finals, That loss lit a fire inside Kobe that pushed him into the most complete version of his prime. What followed was the 2009 season, the year where everything finally aligned. Kobe had the skill of his early 2000s self, the maturity he gained through adversity, and the leadership he had been forced to cultivate. He wasn't just scoring efficiently. He was controlling the tempo of every possession, orchestrating the offense, holding teammates accountable, and elevating everyone around him. He understood when to attack and when to facilitate. He understood when to push and when to trust. His mind, his body, and his game were finally in perfect harmony. This was a version of Kobe who dominated the postseason, slicing through Utah, outlasting Houston, overpowering Denver, and dismantling Orlando in the finals. This was a version of Kobe who averaged over 32 points in the championship series and delivered in every clutch moment. This was the Kobe who played not with desperation or frustration, but with complete command. This was the Kobe who knew exactly who he was, a leader, a champion, and the undisputed best player in the world. For the first time in his career, he didn't need to prove anything. He just needed to win. And he did. Kobe's true prime wasn't a single season or a single stat line. It was a moment when everything came together. After the pain, after the failures, after the battles with Shaq, the struggles with teammates, the heartbreak in the finals, and the weight of doing it alone. His prime was 2009, the year where every version of Kobe, the kid, the scorer, the defender, the leader, the Mamba, merged into one unstoppable force. Now, let me turn it over to you. Do you think 2009 was truly Kobe Bryant's greatest version? Was his most dominant self the young, explosive phenom, or the veteran master who controlled every inch of the court? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Kobe's evolution, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown like this. Let's keep the conversation going.